Once upon a time in a faraway land, there was a wide, deep forest. The trees there were tall and strong, and the rivers sparkled like glass. Birds sang sweet songs, and the flowers glowed with colors you could only dream of. This forest was home to magical creatures, talking foxes, laughing willows, and dancing fireflies. But the most magical of all was a fairy named Seraphina. Seraphina was unlike any other fairy. She had long black hair that flowed like night, wings that shimmered like stars, and eyes that held 1,000 secrets. She was the guardian of the forest. She kept the magic alive and helped every living thing, no matter how small. Back then, the people of the kingdom loved the forest. Children played near its edge. Villagers left honey and bread for the fairies. And once every spring, the king would visit Seraphina and ask for her blessing. But that was a long time ago. One year, the old king died, and his son, King Alaric, took the throne. Alaric was not like his father. He did not believe in fairies or magic. He only cared about gold, power, and land. "This forest is full of lies," he said. "Chop down the trees, build mines, dig for treasure." Seraphina flew to the castle with her forest creatures. She stood before the king and spoke kindly. "Please do not harm the forest. It is alive. It is part of your kingdom too." King Alaric laughed. "You are just a shadow in a storybook. Magic is for fools and children. If you come here again, I will have you locked away." Seraphina's heart cracked like ice. She flew back to her home, tears falling from her eyes. The animals wept with her. The flowers closed their petals. The trees turned gray with sadness. That night, the sky turned black, and a great storm shook the land. From that day on, no one entered the forest. Vines twisted across the paths. Thorns rose tall like walls. Even the birds stopped singing. People began to whisper, "Beware the dark forest queen. She cursed the land." But they were wrong. Seraphina had not cursed the land. She had only protected it from those who no longer believed in magic. Many years later, in a small village near the forest, a girl named Elara lived with her mother and little brother. Elara had curly red hair, bright green eyes, and a heart full of wonder. She loved to paint, sing, and listen to the wind. While other children feared the forest, Elara felt drawn to it. One morning, Elara sat by the trees with her sketchbook. Suddenly, a white deer with silver eyes stepped out from the shadows. It looked at her, then turned and walked into the forest. Elara followed. She stepped over roots and ducked under branches. The air was cool and still. Glowing mushrooms lit the way. Tiny voices whispered secrets in the wind. And then she saw her. A tall figure stood by a silver pond. Her wings shimmered in the sunlight. Her black dress flowed like mist. It was Seraphina. "You should not be here," Seraphina said gently. "I'm not scared," Elara said. "Are you the dark forest queen?" Seraphina looked away. "That is what they call me now." Elara looked around. "This place isn't scary. It's beautiful. Why do they say bad things about you?" So Seraphina told her the whole story of the king, the broken promise, the hurt she carried. Elara listened carefully. After a while, she said, "You didn't turn dark. You were just hurt. I would be sad too." Something in Seraphina's heart warmed. No one had said kind words to her in years. From then on, Elara came back every day. She brought cookies from her mother's kitchen, told funny stories, and sang silly songs. She painted the forest creatures and gave Seraphina her drawings. She even braided flowers into Seraphina's hair. The forest began to change. Flowers bloomed again. Light returned to the trees. The animals danced and played. One day, Elara's mother followed her and saw her daughter laughing with the so-called Dark Queen. She was afraid, but then she saw the truth. Seraphina was not evil. She was just lonely, Elara's mother told the other villagers. Some believed her, some did not. But then other children followed Elara. They saw the glowing fireflies, the talking foxes, the trees that sang. Slowly, more people came. They brought music, food, and laughter. And Seraphina smiled again. Years passed. Elara grew up and became queen. She ruled with kindness and courage. Her first act was to build a beautiful bridge of white stone between the kingdom and the forest. Seraphina became her closest friend and the royal protector of all magic. The forest became a place of wonder once more. Children played there. Songs filled the trees. And every spring, the people and the fairies celebrated together under the glowing moon. Seraphina was no longer the dark forest queen. She was the guardian of light, the fairy whose heart healed because one little girl had believed in her. And so, the kingdom and the forest lived happily, side by side forever.